Let's see, what day is it? Tuesday. It's Tuesday evening. And I thought I would pop in and we would get a chance to catch up today, just because there's been lots and lots of things happening. So, hello, I'm so glad you're here. Say hi, tell me where you're watching from, tell me all the good news. I'm excited to catch up with you guys. Just in case we haven't met yet, my name is Chris Acton with Acting Creative. And yeah, I thought we'd do a little live chat here on YouTube this evening. So yeah, so say hi. How are you? Let's see. It's depending on where you are. I'm in the Midwest, just outside of Chicago, around Lake Michigan, and let me just tell you that we are having serious spring days here, where one day feels like May and the next day feels like February. Today was so dark we had our lights on like the whole stinking day. So it's a good day to be inside, to do some weaving by chance. Why not, right? So let's see, here is how we are going to start today. Let's see, just making sure I can see everybody. Okay, good. All right, good. The Weave Along. Yes, on yesterday I released the video. It says the Weave Along is coming. We're gonna do a Weave Along for the month of April. And I thought I would give you a little background and answer some questions, and we would just kind of talk about that for a little bit. Hello, is it Camillo? Is that how you say it? See, I apologize if I butcher your name, but I'm glad you're here. Hello. So the Weave Along. Here is just a quick blitz through the history of the Weave Along. Last May, I was chatting with a live group, just similar to you guys, and I was talking about the project I was working on. I think it was a lace project at the time, and I said, is anyone else doing lace? Wouldn't that be fun if we all did the same pattern? I was like, we could have a Weave Along. It was completely spontaneous and something that I had never really given any thought to beforehand, but with the rousing hooray of support, I thought, why the heck not? Let's have a Weave Along. So last June was the very first one, and let me tell you, I kind of threw it together. It was quick. Let's just say that. Hello from New Jersey. Hi, Belinda. Glad you're here. So we had the June Weave Along, and we did Hopsack was the pattern. Hello from Boston. Hi, June. And let's just say that I threw together a Facebook group, and we all kind of did our project at the same time, and it was so much fun. We just had the best time. I thought, well, I need to do this with intention the next time, so that we can really be organized and enjoy ourselves. So I had already planned to do it for October. So last October we had the second Weave Along, and we did twill was the pattern for the October Weave Along, which was great fun. It was what kind of twill did we do? See, I've drawn a blank. Was it a 1-3 twill? Maybe it was a 1-3. I'm totally spacing. I can't think of what it was. Anyways, it was great fun, much more organized, and so my plan is going forward to do 2 Weave Alongs per year. And my thought was April is a perfect month for that, because we've all been kind of hunkered down in our houses with the winter stuff, and it's a nice time to kind of get together, have a little weaving community for a month, and just it's just so supportive and fun, and we always have a good time. So the April Weave Along is coming, and here is kind of the format, you guys, is that I'm going to open the doors, quote unquote, open the doors next Monday, which means that the Facebook group will be open, and you can come in and check it out, and I'll have kind of some kind of pre-work, because it's not officially April yet. And then starting kind of April 1st and that first full week, we will be off to the races. Now, for the Weave Along, there are 2 general guidelines. The first one is that we all begin and finish a project in the month of April. So the reason for that is that it's so easy to kind of get bogged down by a project, right? You start a project and it sits on your loom for a very long time. So the idea is that we can all pick a small project and get it done, which gives you this great kind of this great enthusiasm to keep going and I just think it's a really fun thing just to have a quick blitz to get you excited about weaving. And the second thing is we all do the same pattern. And in this case, we're all gonna do log cabin. So show of hands, let me know who has done some log cabin before. Let me know if that is something that you have experimented with, because log cabin is a lot of fun. It's also a really sweet kind of classic pattern that you can do on pretty much any loom. Yes, you can do it on pretty much, I mean, you can do it on 8 shaft, 4 shaft, rigid huddle even. It's perfect for that. So that's one of the reasons I picked it, because I want to make sure that whatever pattern we do all together is that no one is excluded, that everyone, even if you're a beginning weaver, that you are comfortable with the pattern. So log cabin is a good place to start. So if you have done some log cabin before, let me know. And if you haven't, let me know if you're excited about that. It's a real kind of geometric kind of pattern. It's very, very cool. Let's see. Is it Mirani? Is that how you say that? Forgive me. You have to correct me if that's not if that is not correct. Let's see here. How do I get you back? There we go. I think I'm too new to weaving, not a clue what log cabin is. Okay, that is totally okay. That is quite all right. If you don't even know what it is, that is okay. Log cabin is just plain weave, which is awesome. Did I say it right, Meredith? Oh, thank you. That's such a pretty name. I love that. It's just plain weave. But the brilliance of it is that there's a certain sequencing that goes with it, and when you kind of know the tricks to it, then it looks much more complicated, right? Let's see. Hi, Belinda. I'm excited to see. I'm still trying to learn how to pull up the comments, you guys. Forgive me if I seem all, if I don't seem very, how do I do that? Oh, there we go. Yeah, Belinda says, I'm excited to learn how to do it. See, technology, not always my friend. So thank you for being patient with me. Yes, yeah, like I said, log cabin is very simple to do for any level, I promise you. Even if you're just starting, it's one of your first projects, you can easily do log cabin. And when you're finished, you'll be like, hey, look at me. It looks much more complicated than it actually is, which I love those kind of patterns that aren't really that tricky. There's just a few little things you have to know going into it. And what I'm planning to do is that next week for the handwoven experience video, I'm going to give you the breakdown of log cabin. So you'll have some information to help you along and get you going. So just so that I want to make sure everyone likes it, everyone can do the pattern all together. So it's going to be great fun, I promise you. Now, part of the reason that I announced it kind of early is that if you maybe if you're just starting out, or if you don't have that much of a yarn stash, or you just aren't comfortable with doing your own project, I actually have developed a project just for the April Weave Along. So it is a set of 2 towels, little towels, in the log cabin pattern using kind of spring colors. It's really, really pretty. So there is a kit, and the kit is available now, so you're welcome to go ahead and order it so that it'll be there in time so you can participate in all of the April Weave Along goodness. And even if you don't order it till later, it's totally fine. It's I always like to say that there's no weaving police that's gonna come to your house, and no, there's none of that. We're all adults here. We can do the project on our own time with our own whatever. So yes, so there is a kit available if you're interested. I'll be sure that you guys have access to the link, and you can check that out and see if that is a good fit for you. So typically how this will go then is that I will open the doors for the Facebook group, and I'll have little prompts or ideas for us Monday through Friday of each week, and I'll give you marching orders. And what I'll do is I'll make sure I have those on YouTube as well. So just in case you don't do Facebook, which is totally fine, you can kind of follow along, on your own. That'd be great. So what I'll do is, like, for the first week, I usually say your homework for this week is to design your pattern and gather your materials. So just kind of do the basics. Typically, week 2 is to dress your loom. Week 3 is to do some weaving, and then week 4 is to finish your weaving and do like the finishing part of the project. So that's kind of the overview of the whole thing, but it's just a lot of fun. And I hope all of you will consider joining us for it, because it'll be much more fun with you there. So that is the big news. Is there any questions about the Weave Along? Anything you're wondering, or if I didn't explain something so well? You're welcome to pop in and ask me some questions right now. I always have a mug of hot tea with me, so I'm gonna take a big old slurp while you're chewing on that, and you let me know kind of if you have any questions or if I can answer anything for you. This evening's tea of choice is a little Gen Matcha, which is a green tea, just lovely. Hello from Richmond, Virginia. Glad to see you. It's so fun to see where everyone is watching from. That is the magic of technology, isn't it? Is that I can be sitting in my basement in Chesterton, Indiana, and I can see all these lovely friends from all over the country, and in some cases all over the world, which is just very, very exciting. All right, so no questions. I am here later on if you think of something. No worries, that's no problem at all. So I thought I would show you what's happening on my Loom, and we would chat a little bit about that. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do, is see if I can gracefully tilt you down so you can see. Look at that. I am doing a little bit of summer and winter. Now, summer and winter is, let's see. Okay, Mirani says, how wide a project? I am wondering if it'll fit on my 15-inch rigid heddles. I'm not ready to. You know what, Mirani? The my project is 12 inches in the loom. In your reed. I'm sorry, I should say it that way. It's 12 inches in your reed. So if you have 15-inch, you're great. Oh, June says you lost the connection. I'm so sorry, June. Let me know if you can see me. I never know if that's on my side or on your side. Let's see. Camille says, I'm a slow weaver and I will have my loom tied up for a while. No worries. I don't think you're going to join the Weave Along. Here's what I would recommend. If you want, of course, it's totally up to you. But if you have access to Facebook, I would recommend that you at least join the group. You don't have to do the project with us. I promise. It's just come on over and say hi. What I found is that the group of weavers that do the Weave Along are part of the group. Boy, they are just the most generous, creative people you will ever find. So it's really a great experience. Hi, Anne. Writing to you from Norway. Oh, I love that. What did she say? She said, see, live chat. Here we go. Can I buy the pattern as it is a bit of a problem? Shipping. Do you know what, Anne? Here's what I'd suggest. Talk to my friend Rebecca over at 3 Moons Fiberworks. She's the one who has pulling together the materials for me. And see, I am guessing that she will ship it to you, but there may be some additional costs with the shipping. But I know that last year we had some Canadians who bought it, so I know that she's shipped out of the country before. So talk to Rebecca and see if we can make that happen. At the very least, if she isn't able to ship it to you, drop me a note, and we can work out something where I can at least send you the pattern virtually, because that's how I'm sending out the patterns to everybody, is that they get the instructions and the pattern all digitally, which makes it nice and easy. So if Rebecca can't do the yarn for you, come back to me and I'll fix you up. No worries. We'll get you all set. So on my loom here today, I have some summer and winter. Now, summer and winter is this great pattern that I always kind of feel like it's like a nice way to ease into overshot. If you've ever seen some overshot done, just because summer and winter has 2 shuttles, just like overshot. But setting up a loom for summer and winter is much easier than it is for overshot. So if you are like, overshot is on my list, this is a really nice pattern to try before you get into all that. The treadling is easier, dressing your loom is easier. Like, there's so many parts that are easier, but the main components are very similar to overshot. So part of the reason, I had someone ask me this, and I think this is correct, and you guys can verify if I have it wrong, but my understanding is that it's called summer and winter because when they used to use this for like coverlets, you could, depending on how you designed it, you could have one side that was a lighter color side and the other side that was a darker color side. So people would only have one bedspread or one coverlet. So when the warmer months, you'd have the light side up, and the cooler months, you'd have the dark side, summer and winter. So you'd have one coverlet that would go that would go to both seasons. Elizabeth, did you miss it? What did you miss, my dear? I don't think you missed anything. I think you're here right on time. So anyways, so summer and winter. So two shuttles, right? I've got, I use my boat shuttle. This is the yarn I'm going to use for kind of the background, which is just going to be a tabby. So just plain weave, over, under, over, under. So this, basically you always have a background shuttle and then you have a pattern shuttle. So this is kind of the reliable, responsible yarn in the mix, and this is the more kind of flirty, glamorous one, if you think of it that way. So basically, every time you go to do when you go to throw, then you can you use both of them. Camille says, does that mean it is double weave? It is not double weave. That's a good question, though. That's a very good question. When you do, I'm glad you asked that. When you do double weave, you are actually weaving 2 layers. And in this case, you aren't. It is one layer that can have 2 very distinctly different sides. They're kind of 2 different beasts. But yeah, I'm glad you asked that because it does kind of sound like that, doesn't it? When you say summer and winter. In this case, it is one fabric that can. Mine isn't going to have 2 distinctly different sides, just because of the way that I'm weaving it. But summer and winter is just one fabric versus double weave, where you're actually weaving 2 layers, that's all kinds of fun too. But it's a different. Your brain has to think a little bit differently when you're doing double weave. So let's do a little bit so you can see what this looks like. Now, first of all, I went to go start the camera and I realized I have hardly any yarn left here, which is a shame. It's one of those where if I would have thought about it ahead of time, I would have wound on some more, but I just didn't think ahead. By the way, just as a note, your background yarn, I'm just using a cotton here. You would use, like, whatever you use here, you want to use something that's twice the size for your pattern. And I literally just took 2 yarns and put it together. You can just find one that's a bigger size. Say if your cotton's always such a great because there's so many different sizes to it, you just start with a smaller size for the background and then just use something about twice the size then for the pattern. Elizabeth says, well, this will be, wow, I don't know, my little comments keep vanishing before I can read them. Elizabeth says, will this be taped? I missed the beginning about the weave along. Oh, yes, absolutely, my friend. Yes, yeah. As soon as this is over, I will post it to YouTube. Sometimes it takes a little bit for it to pop up, but yes, it will definitely be on there and you can see all the things. And believe me, you'll see lots about the weave along coming up. So, okay, so here we go. Let's do a little weaving. Okay. So, whoops. So one of the things I think is so interesting about summer and winter is that, you know, when you usually do some kind of plain weave and, you know, it's usually over, under, right? Plain weave. And typically you would lift shafts 1 and 3 and then 2 and 4, right? That's how you go back and forth on a 4 shaft loom, I should say. For summer and winter, because of the way it's threaded, plain weave is created by doing 1 and 2 and then 3 and 4, which I always think is this kind of unique kind of variation on that. So as you're threading your pattern and then doing your tie-ups down below, just pay attention to which ones go where, because it's not the norm. All right, here we go. So I'm going to send my little, this is kind of the background shuttle, right? And then look at the big gaps. Can you see that? You see the big gaps in the hello. See more people popping in. Hi, how are you? See the big gaps in the warp yarns there. It helps create this kind of in this case it's gonna be kind of a cool kind of a brick kind of pattern, which I find very, very interesting. All right. Let's see. Then we're gonna come back the other way. And I like to, when I have 2 shuttles like this, I like to always lead with the same one, just because it keeps it straight in my head. So I tend to start with the background or the tabby shuttle always, and then I'll toss the other one. Now I have 2 different shuttles here. You absolutely don't have to. This was just kind of what I had available. You could definitely have both of them be on your boat shuttle or a stick shuttle. Any shuttle really is going to work. And especially, I have 2 yarns here together, but if you have one one that's just a little kind of a little fatter, a little chunkier yarn that would wind on easily to anything. So so by no means don't take my system here as gospel. It's just what I had around. All right, so background, and then the pattern. I gotta do a little twisty here thing. By the way, for this type of pattern, you always have a floating selvage, which are, if you guys aren't familiar, floating selvage, I don't know if you can see it from there. Let's see if you can see. It's not popping up very much. That's what a floating selvage looks like. And a floating selvage is a warp yarn that goes through the reed but doesn't go through any of the heddles, and its sole job is to stay still. Yeah, its job is to float there, because when you have certain patterns, the weft yarns going back and forth aren't going to automatically go all the way to the end. So if you have a yarn at the end, you can always kind of catch that yarn and make sure it goes all the way, so that you don't have random kind of gaps in your fabric towards the end. So trust me on this. Floating selvages are your friend. All right, go back the other way. There's time for plain weave. You won't ever need a floating selvage, but for twill is pretty common when you might need a little floating selvage action. Overshot for sure. Clearly summer and winter. That's what I'm using here. And typically when you're looking at a pattern, it'll usually give you some kind of clue as to when you should be using floating selvage. And what you can always do is set up the, dress the loom, get everything set up. And if you're doing your like little sample at the beginning, if you find that your weft yarns aren't going all the way in, you can pretty easily put in floating selvages after the fact. That's no problem. You just put some, just weighted off the back of your loom, and you'll be sitting pretty. You'll be in business. All right, see, here I am right at the end, all ready. See, it's poor planning on my part. All right, so let's see. We'll do one more for us. I think I can eke out one more for us. All right, we'll send that back through there. Yep, I got enough. I'm just gonna kind of wiggle that right in there. Now, this project for me is going to be 2 table runners, and oh, you can see it there. See how it looks like the section changes from here to here. See that? This is basically with summer and winter. With the way my loom is set up, you have 2 options. So it'll look like this or it'll look like this. So I am just kind of alternating. I'm doing like 6 inches of each, and then I'll change which block is prominent. So that is the plan. So I'm going to do kind of a blue runner, and then I'm going to switch things up, and I'm going to use these brown colors for the second table runner, which will be very, very fun. Yes. Hello. Just realized I usually show up with my name, Paul. Oh, it's Paul. Oh, hi. See, he snuck in under a different name. There we go. I'm appearing as Captain Paralytic this time. Still the same guy in the UK. Yes. Okay, so Paul, what time is it there in the UK? Typically, Paul will pop in and say hi on. It's my Thursday morning, my time, but I'm always curious as to what time it is in the UK. Anyways, so that is the project du jour. That is what I am working on, and in the future, there would definitely be a handwoven experience video all about summer and winter, and I will break that down so that you kind of know the basics of what goes where and what makes it special. That's kind of what I try to do with the handwoven experience videos, is take a pattern or a concept and try to really kind of drill down to what's at the core of it, what makes it special. Versus other patterns, so that you have just a basic idea in your head as to how you can do that. Paul says it's 11:23 p.m. Whew, that is way past my bedtime, Paul. Let's see. Teresa says the summer-winter pattern looks fun. You know what? It really is. It really is. Yes. And like I mentioned, pretty easy to set up. The trick is just kind of working with 2 shuttles, which, for all of you that are going to try the log cabin, you'll get to work with 2 shuttles too, which will be very, very fun. So this all begs the question, though, my friends. Are there things you would like to see on handwoven experience in the future? Are there certain patterns you'd like to see? Certain information, any kind of fibers, any kind of equipment? What kind of things interest you that you'd like to know a little bit more about? Because it's a big old wide world, isn't it? I know I had someone ask me about, is it pronounced crockbrod? Ooh, I probably butchered that. It's I want to say Scandinavian style of weaving. And they had asked specifically about some information about that. I was like, you know what? I have seen it and it is lovely, but I've never done it. Not yet. Nope. Mm-mm. Maybe one day, my friends. But there's a lot of things out there in the weaving world that I haven't even tried yet. After, let's see, 16 years of weaving, it's still there's still a lot to learn. That is for sure. But I am always open for ideas. If you have suggestions, things you're curious about. Let's see, Paul says, would love to see double width, double weave. Oh, that's a good one. I like that. I've done a little bit of the different kinds of double weave, and I think the only handwoven experience video I did was doing the tube, which was very fun with double weave, because double weave is always the 2 layers, but I could show you how to do when you unfold it, it's 1. That'd be awesome. Mary says, I'm sitting right here right now working. See, my little comments just disappear too quickly. Here we go. Oh, are you working on a crockbrod right now? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. See, we can have you on, Mirani. You can tell us how to do it, because that would be, oh, what are the chances? That is wild that that the timing just worked out just perfectly. That's so fun. Yes, that's the thing I'd like to try in the future. I just haven't tried it yet. But, you know, always learning, always trying all the new things. But I like that idea of the double weave with this, where it's double the width, which is very nice, especially if you have a smaller loom. That becomes a really cool trick to know, because if your loom is a 15-inch, then that at least give you closer to almost 30 inches then once you unfold everything. Belinda, I would love to learn double weave. Also, I'm longing to weave a baby blanket. Ooh, yes. That's a great idea. Yes. I know I have a friend who is getting ready to do some baby wraps. Have you heard of this? Where it's, you know, it's like a long piece of fabric, but there's a strategic way you can wrap around your body and kind of keep your baby close to you. So it's a whole thing. But baby blankets, yes, please. And ooh, all the fibers, all the really soft, kind of yummy. Oh, there's so much good stuff right now, isn't there? Yeah. Double weave. I like that idea, you guys. That's a good one. That would be very fun to put something on the loom. And it's been a while. I did a blanket in double weave early on. I had weaved for I don't know, 3-4 years at that point, and I did it as I think it was a wedding gift, and did it, ironically enough, I did it in blues and browns, just like, clearly I come back to this kind of classic combination a lot, blues and browns. Yeah, but it turned out really lovely. The fold, that is really the trick, and I'll have to get into it to find some other kind of tips for that. So Elizabeth said, I love your short and sweet videos on YouTube. Are you on, oh, Patreon with classes? Is that what you said, Patreon? See, I'm just not a very quick reader or something. Let's see. Are you on Patreon with classes? I am on Patreon, but there aren't classes there yet. There are going to be classes coming though, Elizabeth. That is for sure. I'm really excited about that. I've got a couple things in the works. I can't wait to share with you guys. They're just not quite finished. Camille says, how to choose the right yarn for a specific project. Ooh, I like that. That's a great idea. How to pick the right yarn for the right project. I like that, because boy, talk about a lot of options, right? And I've certainly done videos about how to pick a warp yarn, because that is, in some ways, the warp yarn is easier because there's fewer choices. Your warp yarn has to be something that's going to be really strong, and you don't want to be breaking under tension. So that rules out a lot of yarns. However, then there's the weft yarns, which can be pretty much anything. So that's a great topic. I know, right? I like that. I like that idea. I will definitely keep that in my back pocket, and we'll bring that up as to which fibers go with which projects. It'd be fun to do kind of a deep dive into some of the big ones: cotton, wool, silk, tencel, some of that kind of stuff, it would be cool just to start to have a video about each one or something along those lines. Something about that, right? Because there's a lot. You know, there's the size, there's how do you take care of it, there's, you know, what's it gonna look like? Oof, it's so good. It's a lot like cooking, isn't it? If you mix a little this and a little that, and yeah, I love all that stuff. So, excellent. Great ideas, you guys. I love that. Well, I tell you what, we are right at the end of our little half-hour party here, and I just want to say thank you for popping in to say hi. You guys have been wonderful, and I'm always so happy to spend some time with you. So, I am around. Wait, what does Teresa say? Maybe you have a video already, but I would learn more about choosing yarn for a certain read or set. How to choose colors for projects. Ooh, see? Look at you guys. I love all those ideas. Absolutely. I'll cover those. We got it. Elizabeth says, my guild project, I need to make a double weave shuttle holder. Oh, I'm so afraid to begin. Oh, you can do it, my friend. A shuttle holder. Oh, that sounds awesome. Let's see. Denise says, almost missed you live. I'm still struggling with broken floating selvages. But meanwhile, is it... what'd she say? Is it advisable to release tension on the loom when taking a break for days or weeks? Oh. Do you know what? I'll be honest, I don't. Now, to be fair, I also don't usually go that long. If you know that your project is gonna hang out there for, if you're gonna be more than a week or two, you might make sure it's a little bouncier than usual. It can relax a little bit, but otherwise, I wouldn't worry about it. Not too much. I mean, if you're gonna be gone for like a month or something, then yes, give it a little extra, but don't have it too like loose and hangy. Just let it breathe a little bit, so it's not quite so tight. Interesting. And then what was the other one? Floating selvages. See, all right, maybe one of the times, even for a live, we can do kind of a worst case scenario or something. We can do about, you know, what to do when your warp yarns break or something. That would be kind of cool, right? Let's see. What'd she say? Denise, just a thought. I've used a very fine braided fishing line as a floating selvage. It just doesn't break for me. Oh, that's true. Fishing line would not. That is for sure. You would just have to make sure you could easily pull it out afterwards, or do you keep it in? See? Good questions. All right, you guys, this has been amazing. Please do not hesitate to reach out if you have questions, if you have comments, if you have ideas for me. I am game. Just bring it on. I am all for it. And we'll do this live thing again. I would like to make it a regular thing. I'm just kind of sorting out the best way to do that for us. So don't you worry, there will be lots more about the Weave Along coming up, and I hope you will all join in, whether you want to do it in the privacy of your own home, just kind of following through YouTube, or if you want to join our merry little band of weavers on the Facebook group. That would be awesome too. The more the merrier, I say. All right, my friends. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will be in touch with you very soon. And, of course, you know, like I always say, happy weaving.